Beautiful. And all right. So just to get to start off with this is I'm in the wonderful position of getting a lot of questions from people about what's going on, what resources do I have at my that are available to me. What should I be telling my customers? What should I be telling my team members? What should I be telling my friends in the real estate business who are asking me what should I do? And every single one of these questions that I'm going to be going through and talking about is a question that I have gotten in the past week, and that were on my call last week, where we talk about, okay, what do we do in this augmented reality of COVID-19 in the real estate business? Everything has changed so much even from then in a week. And so I'm going to go ahead and fire up my presentation. And here we go. And let me go ahead and share my screen. Go share, and then present. So for those of you that didn't get this when I was first saying this, I have put my resource document into the chat. As I share other additional resources, I will be putting them into the chat. I know it says that Bettina Sestoki is talking. I am not Bettina. This is not my coronavirus Bettina voice. This is Coach Chris Weaver. And this is a Q&A, what realtors, brokers, and consumers are asking. It is 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, March 27, 2020. And we are in a different world today. And I'm going to take you through, as I do at the beginning of every call that I do, what is my experience. But guess what? I have absolutely no experience in dealing with a disaster like this. So I am learning as you are learning. So please bear with me if I give you an answer to a question that isn't accurate. Then I appreciate if you can go ahead and mute yourself, the people that are coming in, just so we don't have the feedback. Thank you, Art. And so my experience is, I was the #1 new agent in Florida back in 2005, 2006. I sold over 120 million in a single year. I've listed 120 properties in a year. I'm a national trainer and coach. I've owned 3 different brokerages. I've worked with every major brand. I'm the former chief operator, and I am a former Tom Ferry coach. And none of that means anything when it comes to experience in dealing with the environment that we're in this new reality and this new normal that we have. And as you watch this presentation, as you listen to me in this short period of time that we have together, I would ask that you would put different hats on as you're thinking about this and as you're absorbing this information and doing your own research. And I would like you to think about this from these 3 different perspectives. Number 1 is this is going to be knowledge and understanding that you can use yourself. The majority. So if I could just have you, as you're coming in, just go ahead and mute yourself, that would be great. So knowledge and understanding that you can use yourself. Secondly, knowledge and understanding that you can share with other realtors. So we have the ability to be useful to our fellow realtors and to our friends. And then ultimately, knowledge and understanding that you can share with consumers. And Kim Elizabeth, if you could yourself, that would be wonderful. So with our consumers, one of the big questions that I've gotten is, Chris, yeah, you're telling me I need to be calling people every day, but what do I say? And hopefully this will give you some things that you can say, both in your conversations with consumers, your conversations with other realtors, and obviously things that you can get from yourself. And so here are the top questions that I've gotten this week, and the questions that we are going to cover today. What is the stimulus package's impact on realtors and the real estate industry? Second, should I pay my mortgage? Should my sellers pay their mortgage? Should my parents pay their rent? Should my dog's friend's cousin pay his Bank of America MasterCard? Right? So the questions about should I pay my bills and what should I do come April 1st when bills are due for an SBA loan. I have gotten this question probably more than any other question from realtors. Do I qualify for an SBA loan? And it's a tricky answer. Next, I'm a landlord. I need that rent payment. What should I do? I'm going to cover this. And what's going to happen when this is over? And when is this going to be over? That's a tough question. And then typo, it's not thus but this. How do I continue to do real estate in this market? And we're going to talk about very specifically about that. And somebody who right now is not on the call, who was supposed to be on the call today, is Janine. And Janine got an offer on a listing that she took last week. And, full disclosure, this is one of the listings that she did a virtual open house on last weekend, and she's got an offer on it this week. Now, I do not think, and we were talking about this morning, we don't think that she got an offer because of the virtual open house. But I don't think it hurt. So we're going to talk. So first question, the stimulus package. As I said before, I have my resource document, and the information that I am getting is information that I am getting from NAR. If you've just joined, if you could mute yourself, please, I greatly appreciate it. Kathleen, if you could mute yourself, thank you. And so the stimulus package gives $1,200 for each adult and $500 per child, depending on how much money you made last year. So if you want to go and figure out exactly what you are going to get in the stimulus package, or what you think you're going to get. Hey, Janine, glad you're here. If you could go ahead and mute yourself, I'd appreciate it. So the $1,200 for each child, $500 for each child. USA Today has a calculator on their site. That's one of the links that's in my resource document that's in the chat. You can actually go in and put in what you made last year or 2018 filed taxes, and figure out exactly what it is your stimulus is going to be. Next, I am not a big fan of NAR. I've never been a big fan of NAR. NAR has never, I have pretty much seen them as the National Association of Real Estate Brokerages, not the National Association of Realtors. That's just my opinion. But thank you, NAR. The lobbyists from NAR were on Capitol Hill and for COVID-19 unemployment benefits for gig workers and for independent contractors, including realtors. I went to the Texas Workforce Commission website earlier today. There's nothing about it on there. What I would say, Monday morning at 8 o'clock, log on to the Texas Workforce Commission's website and apply for unemployment benefits. Call them. You're probably going to be on hold for 3 hours, but apply for unemployment benefits. If COVID-19 has affected income, or you believe it's going to affect your income as a realtor, you need to apply for these benefits as soon as possible. It doesn't mean you're going to get benefits immediately, but you should be applying for these benefits as a realtor. NAR has gotten us this. We need to avail ourselves of it. Next, we're unsure of how to apply and when this is going to start, also unsure about how the money is coming when it comes to the stimulus package. I went on to the IRS website earlier today to see if there were any updates. There aren't. There's basically just a thing saying it's coming, and we'll get you more information when we have it. I'm not even positive if they voted on the bill last night or not, but I've been told it's probably going to be today. I watch the news just like you do. So what I would say is this. I have learned is they are going to be using the information from the 2018 taxes, so the taxes that you did last year in 2019, for the calculation of all of this, and also for your direct deposit information. So go to the irs.gov and make sure when you log into your account, if you don't have an account, log in, make an account, log into your account, make sure that your direct deposit information is accurate. If not, it means that you might not be getting your payment, especially if they try it in inaccurate information. It could delay it up to 8 weeks. So check to make sure your direct deposit information is correct. It is still accurate so that this money can be direct deposited into your account. From what I have heard, they're looking at this stimulus money getting into our accounts within 3 weeks. I'll believe it when I see it. That's our government talking. So that's the information on the stimulus package. Most realtors I have talked to do not know that unemployment benefits are available to them or will be available to them. So you want to make sure this is something you're talking about in your conversations with the realtors. One of the links in that resource document is the NAR explanation of all of this. This is a really good article that you can be getting out to your friends in the real estate industry. Next, paying bills. If you have enough cash on hand, or if you're still getting income, you should probably pay your mortgage, because nobody is talking about forgiving interest. Let me repeat that. Nobody is talking about forgiving interest. So banks aren't saying, hey, it's tough right now, we're not going to charge you interest for the next couple of months. No, that's not what they're saying. They are saying, we will let you not make payments for a little while, but that interest is still going to accrue, whether it's tacked on in the end or things are worked out in 6 months. Nobody's talking about forgiving your interest. So if you have car loans, if you have credit card bills, if you have a mortgage, the interest is probably still going to accrue. So if you've got enough cash on hand for the next 6 months, or you're still getting income and planning on still getting income, you should probably pay your bills. Now, that being said, make a list, and I'll get to this later with the to-dos, and this is one of the to-dos in that resource document, but call all of the companies that you make payments to, make a list of all of your bills, call every single company that you make payments to, call them and find out what they have. Go online, look up these companies, find out what they're doing. For those of you that have Bank of America credit cards, I think they're deferring payments for 6 months. Make use of these programs that are available. If they don't do you damage, do your own research. It's really important that you do the research you need to do about your own bills. But here's what I would say. If you're in a financial crunch now, you're probably going to be in more of a financial crunch in 60 days. And we'll get to why in a couple of minutes. So pay bills if you can. If you can't, or even if you can, call the companies you make payments to, find out what they're doing for their customers. Call the electric company, the gas company, the phone company, your cell phone company, mortgage, all your credit cards. If you're a renter, you want to talk to your landlord and have an honest conversation with that landlord if it's an individual, or talk to that landlord if it's a company and find out what they're doing. Now, here's what you know: there will be no evictions in the next 60 days. I've heard that might even be extended to 90 days, but right now in the next 60 days, nationwide, there will be no evictions. So even if you if you haven't paid rent for 3 months and you're about to get evicted, you won't be evicted for the next 2 months. So don't think, oh, I'm going to get evicted if I don't pay my rent. If you can't pay your rent, talk to your landlord, talk to the management company, and see what you can work out with them. Be honest, be fair. That's the same thing, obviously, I'm recommending to them as well. Next, SBA loans. I've put the links in the resource document, but by declaring a national emergency, our president has made available hundreds of millions of dollars to small businesses through Small Business Administration, the SBA. These are low interest, long-term loans. By low interest, I mean starting at 2.75% for nonprofits, 3.75% for small businesses. terms as long as 30 years to pay it back, and payment deferment as much as 12 months. You should, because you are a small business owner, whether you're a SOO, small office, home office, or an actual business entity, you should be finding out what you can do through the SBA and going through the application process. Don't make the assumption, oh, I'll never get approved, or oh, it won't work. Apply for an SBA loan if you're a business and you believe that your business's income and your cash flow is going to be affected.
Hey.
So if you just joined, if you could go ahead and mute yourself, please. Next, apply. There is no reason not to apply for an SBA loan. There is nothing that is going to harm you in applying for an SBA loan. I would strongly recommend applying today. A close friend of mine is works for the SBA and FEMA in these disaster loans. He's actually a lawyer with them. Shout out, hey Scott. And what I was told is that the people who are applying today and Monday and Tuesday, their applications are going to get processed within the next 8 to 12 weeks. Those that wait till Wednesday of next week or later, it might be next year that they get to it. They're just that overwhelmed. And it just opened up yesterday, from what I know, for us in Texas. If you're in Texas, you want to apply for an SBA loan as a realtor. So go ahead and apply. The minimum amount is $25,000, and it's to help you with cash flow, pay bills, and things like that. But go check it out. The link's there in the resource document. The terms are based on your financial situation. Interest rates around 3.75, up to 30-year payback, 12-month payment deferral. $25,000 minimum, $2 million maximum. This is your money that you're borrowing. This is and we are citizens of this country, and this is what is made available to us as relief. This is something you should avail yourself of if you are a small business owner. Next, I am a landlord. I need my rent. I understand. I totally understand. I was talking with Janine about this yesterday, and nobody's forgiving interest, right? So even if you don't have to pay your mortgage for 2 months, you're still paying interest on that money. It's just going to get tacked on the end. So how do I deal with my renters? And here's what I would say. Be proactive. Talk to your tenants. Try to be as understanding as possible. We are all in this together. A good friend of mine said yesterday, hey, we're all in this together. And we're all in this together. If you've got a mortgage on that home that you're getting rent from, check with your mortgage holder about your options. Find out really what is going on with your mortgage and what that deferment might look like. And try and be as understanding as you possibly can with your renters. When people's backs are against the wall, they get scared, you know? Check with your local, state, and federal guidelines about evictions and collecting rent. And there are some things in some cities and towns and counties that are additional help in addition to things like SBA. Now, being a landlord and renting out your own property may even qualify you for an SBA loan. So just something to consider. That might be something that fits into your SBA loan as well. And here's what I would say. Put yourself in the shoes of your renters and try and be a good person. And I would say this of everyone: if you're a renter, try to put yourself put yourself in the shoes of your landlord and be a good person. Try and do what's right, and we're in this together, and we're going to get through this together. And if you can afford to pay your rent, pay your rent. If you can't afford to pay your rent, be honest. Talk to your landlord about it. Try and figure something out. If you're unemployed, obviously get your unemployment benefits. And for those of us who are the realtors, we have that ability, hopefully next week, to apply for unemployment benefits. Next, when will this end? And then what? So here's what I believe. I believe that by the end of the summer, we will be back to showing houses and working like before. Now, end of the summer is September 21st. The president said a while back, July, August. I've heard people say August, September. We're definitely not in the middle of this yet. And I think as soon as we're in the middle of this, we'll know more about when the end is going to be. What I've been telling people, my coaching clients and other people that have been asking me for my opinion, is I would plan on not making money like I made money before for 6 months. And this is why unemployment benefits are 6 months, right? And so as realtors, we should be getting some benefits in that unemployment benefit. So by the end of the summer, next, this is a snowstorm, not a tsunami. Let me explain that. This is something that is temporary without real permanent damage being made. This isn't like a tsunami came in and all the houses have been destroyed. Our houses are still intact. I believe that with what our government is doing for most of us, our credit will be intact. I think that most of us won't lose our cars, won't lose our homes, and the jobs that we lose, we will probably get back. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for your friends and family. You have an opportunity to be a beacon to your friends and family, to your center of influence, and explain to them that this is a snowstorm, not a tsunami. We're not going to, okay, the water recedes, now we have to rebuild. No, the water is going to recede, and buyers are going to buy again, and sellers are going to sell again, and people are going to go to the store, and people are going to go to the movies. I personally believe people are going to go on vacation. People are going to go on trips. People are going to be flying like crazy and using Airbnbs like crazy and using their timeshares like crazy. So things will be really good when this ends. I believe that's just my personal opinion. Next, the actions we take now in our farm and with our center of influence will determine our business future. Let me say this again. The actions that we take now in our farm and with our center of influence will determine our business future. If you are sitting on the sidelines, there's an agent in your neighborhood who is not. If you are sitting on the sidelines, there's a member of your sphere who is being contacted by another agent. You have to be the voice of reason. You have to be proactive in your communication with your center of influence and with your farm. Have to. Even if it's, hey, is there anything you need? I'm ordering from Instacart. Can I order something for you and bring it over later? Doesn't matter. Stay in touch, talk to people that you know, and do what you can to have an influence on those people in a positive way. All right. Action plan for the next 30 days. Email everyone once a week with video. Be encouraging. You may be the only rational person they have a chance to hear. Continue marketing to your farm and maybe increase or enhance what you're already doing. 3, do daily positive posts on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. If you don't have all 4 of these, that's your project. Get proficient on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook. If that's not your realm, if that's not where you live, now's the time for you to learn how to. Attend a virtual training and invite a friend. So, in addition to this, I want to tell a story, and I've got a little bit of time to tell the story and then talk about what's next. I want to talk about what happened with Janine last week. So last Wednesday, she and I were talking, and we were talking about doing an open house on Saturday. And so we were saying, okay, so how can we do social distancing and a sign-up sheet and a sign out in the front of, okay, one couple at a time in the house, blah, 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 blah. And then things got worse on Thursday. And things got worse on Friday. And it was really apparent Thursday night that she really couldn't do an open house. And so it was, okay, how do I do a virtual open house? And we brainstormed and we talked about it. And so she spent time and energy creating a virtual open house instead of canceling it. So let me just throw this out to you. She spent time and energy, not money, time and energy. She might have spent some money, but I don't think so. Spent time and energy creating a virtual open house instead of canceling. She used KV Core. She used a landing page. She used a video that she created. She demonstrated her competence and relevance to her seller, to the neighborhood, and to her future listings. Now, these are factual statements, but they don't convey the truth, right? So she did a virtual open house last Saturday. She got an offer on the house today. Now, those two things are true. We don't think that virtual open house had anything to do with this offer, right? But cosmically, karmically, I think they're connected. And whether there is a connection or not, she is going to have those sellers tooting her horn for the next 30 years. Because in the midst of this COVID, in the midst of not being able to actually even show a house, she had this house come on the market last week and got an offer on it this week. People moving up here from Houston. This is a story that she'll be able to tell. This is a story that other people are going to tell about her. She demonstrated her competence and relevance. That's what we need to do as agents. Next, let's do a Zoom workshop mastermind about virtual open houses. What I want you to do is, and her number is going to be here a lot. Janine and I are going to do this workshop together. She did the work. I'm going to help facilitate, talk about mega open houses from a Tom Ferry perspective, talk about some of the things that I think are important in preparation for a mega open house. She did the work. She's the expert. She's going to take us through step by step how she did her video, what she included in her video, what she didn't include in her video, how to create a YouTube channel, how to upload that video from your phone, how to name it so that you got the address and your team, how to let your seller know what you're doing, how to set it up in KV Core, how to set it up so that you're forcing people to send you a lead or not. And then how to do the flyer, how to let people know about your virtual open house. So she did a flyer box and put that flyers in front of the house because she had advertised an open house and she didn't want people to come by for the open house and not be able to see the property. So if you are interested in participating in this Zoom workshop mastermind about virtual open house, I want you to text Janine Thames, and this is her number, 972-978-0476. It's on your screen. It's going to still be on your screen on the next one. So this is, just so you know, this is what it looked like. This is what her landing page looked like. If you want to, you can go there. And what I'm going to do, Janine, if you could do me a favor, I think you're on. If you could shoot the link, the bit.ly link in the chat for Royal Troon and for the other one, it was a Heritage Glen, Heritage something. So that they can see what your video looked like and what the landing page looked like. And text Janine if you want to participate in this virtual open house workshop mastermind that we're going to do next week. And what we'll do is the people that text us, we'll figure out a time that works for most of us so that we can do it. All right. I have 2 minutes left. So what's next? All right. I got so another great question that I guess, Chris, why do you have this picture of you giving somebody a high five? So this was my failed attempt at a Guinness Book of World Records a couple of years ago out in Vegas at the MGM Grand at Tom Ferry Summit, where we tried to give the most high fives in an hour and we failed miserably. But I really love this picture and I think it makes me look cool. I've got my coach badge on, my name and everything. So what's next? If there's anything that I talked about that you need more information, you want to talk to me personally about it, feel free to email me or text me. This is my cell number. Give me a call, send me a text message. For those of you that don't know, I usually get a nap in the afternoon. So if you call me in the afternoons, I'm probably going to get back to you the next morning. I'm more of a morning person. But text me, call me. I want to be available to you. I want to be helpful to you. So there are about 30 some odd people live on this. And if you're watching the video of this, fantastic. I am doing a presentation of the model explained at noon. So when we finish this, it's going to be the same Zoom ID, and that's going to start at noon. If you've seen Brent Gove's The Model Explained, and you've seen Gene Frederick's The Three Napkin presentation, this is Chris Weaver's bastard stepchild of those two presentations. And it's kind of the merging of those two. So that's going to be at noon. From 11:30 to 12, here's what I would strongly suggest. If you are an EXPer on this call, then call your friends and invite them to the presentation. Send them that resource document that I just did. Tell them you're going to get them the video of this training that we did, but invite them to the presentation at noon so they get a chance to see what EXP is doing in virtual world, and what we have been doing for the past 11 years. That puts us light years ahead of most companies. Next, I accidentally tried to email myself. That was not good. So we'll see how this goes. I think it's going to try and send me an email, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit stop share, and so you can see my pretty face, and I can tell you directly. So, oh, excellent, cool. That's Scenic Ranch and Realtor. So, Flavio, here's what I'd say. Shoot me whatever you have about the stimulus, and I'll include it in the resource document. I'm weird that way. I like to control the information that's going out and is coming out. But I definitely love to hear what you have to say and be able to get it out to people. So I'm going to stop this recording now. This is going to be a separate recording. Let me go ahead and do that now. Stop recording.